Hey everyone, before we get started, here's a quick background on Traitors. Traitors' debut single, Arrogance, quickly gained traction, propelling the band into the spotlight just 4 months after its release. This momentum led to their first nationwide tour, establishing Traitors as a formidable presence in the metal community. The release of their critically acclaimed EP, Night Terrors, in 2015 further solidified their reputation, showcasing the band's ability to infuse raw aggression with hauntingly atmospheric elements. Traitors have continued to evolve their sound over the years, releasing 4 full-length albums including The Hate Campaign and Anger Issues, which have become cornerstones of their discography. Throughout their career, Traitors have maintained a relentless touring schedule, sharing stages with metal heavyweights and earning a dedicated fan base. Their music, characterized by visceral lyrics and crushing breakdowns, resonates deeply with listeners, offering a cathartic outlet for anger and frustration. As they gear up for the release of their 5th album in 2025, Traitors remain at the forefront of the deathcore genre, continually pushing the boundaries of heavy music while staying true to their roots. With a career marked by consistency and innovation, Traitors stand as a testament to the enduring power of heavy metal. Here's a quick clip of their song Release.
No time to suffer when they think you because everybody knows if you're weak you can fucking eat it. No time to suffer with the world cause the world is river with a bunch of motherfucking Lincoln. In time, all you will burn. There are no signs of the people that left you behind. In time, there are one side behind. And a similarity now just so they can fucking climb.
Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla, and today we welcome Tyler from Traitors to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. Welcome, Tyler.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So your new album, Phobias, is coming out on February 21st. You've already put out a couple of songs from this album. What have people thought of them so far?
So far, it's been good. I want to get more people, more new people to listen again, but the cult fan base that we have is definitely well received.
So are the other songs on the album similar to the ones that are already out?
There's definitely it's kind of like we've always done a bit of like a genre bending thing, so I feel like it kind of weaves in and out of many different things that people know and love about Traitors, but we're also introducing some new, more intense, more faster paced stuff. But it kind of goes all over the place in a good way. It's still it flows together so well, and I love how this album is coming together. It's taken a lot of time, but it's very creative. So.
How would you say the band has kind of grown and changed since your debut single, Arrogance?
Wow. Well, I'm on year 11, so I hope it's changed a little bit, but the dynamic has changed. There was a lot of internal struggles in the band for a long time. You'll have your ups and downs and stuff like that, but I feel like I own my like lyrically, I feel the most creative I've ever felt before. So, from that point until now, gosh, when I was doing Arrogance, I was probably I was living with a bunch of my buddies that I met in Cape Coral, and they're kind of the reason why I'm in Traitors is because I escaped from my hometown. But to now, I mean, I guess musically, it's just such a huge step if you go from the first EP to now, and it's like, whoa, this is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just so many different factors, and from tour experience all the way to personal life experience. But it's definitely been a growing experience nonetheless. And now I feel like I have a dream team set up, and I'm just totally thrilled with what we've got, and I'm excited for the world to finally hear Phobias.
I'm excited that you feel the most creative you've ever felt before.
Yeah, it feels good.
I can imagine. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of, being on tour, you guys have a tour for Phobia coming up. What are you looking forward to most on that tour?
Well, we did a collab post with all the bands yesterday, Crown Magnetar and Yosemite, and honestly, it was incredibly well received. People are really hyping it up. People are kind of just like talking about it rather than sharing it. They're just talking about how excited they are. At this point in my career, I've met so many of my fans have like they bring out their kids to shows now,
Mm-hmm.
and I just look forward to continue to watch my fan base grow, but also watch my original fan base grow up. Like it's crazy to see at this point now. I see people, almost every day that have supported us from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an amazing feeling. I mean, that's a long time to like this type of music for sure. So It's very enlightening. I look forward to hanging out with the fans. Um, I think Yosemite and Crown will be really thrilled to be on the road with us because I love to cook and I love to get people together and kind of have that together feeling. We're super chill on the road. You know, as long as everybody's doing their job, you're really not going to hear much from us.
Mhm.
I like to play video games all day in the green room, so that's pretty much what I do. But yeah, I look forward to the hangs. I mean, the life experience that tour brings itself. It's a long one. It's like 6.5 weeks, I think.
Mhm.
So we'll be out there for a good amount of time.
What video games do you like to play?
I have abused hockey to the point where people were walking by and being like, still trying to get that Wayne Gretzky card. I'm like, yep, same guy. Still, it's very grindy, the game mode that I play, and that's pretty much like the main game I was playing on the road is that
Mhm.
and a little bit of boxing. So
Then you also mentioned liking to cook. Do you cook on tour?
yeah, I have a Blackstone grill and I have some propane and I pretty much, if I can get them into the mix of, hey, if you guys bring some groceries, I'll just cook it.
Mhm.
So I've cooked like steak fried rice. You can boil water on that thing. It's crazy, but I've done everything. I've done little grill outs where it's like hot dogs and hamburgers and all the way up to like 16-ounce ribeyes,
Wow.
with sides and yeah, like I'll buy like shish kebabs and just take them off the stick and make a big stir fry and it's kind of been a little bit of everything. I've done Philly cheesesteaks on that thing, like so you get a little bit of everything.
That's crazy. But it's really fun to go on tour with you because you get home cooked meals.
Yes, and I feel like it's a big morale booster is to not have to go spend money. Like I don't really eat fast food on the road too much. And I think the big secret is don't eat fast food a lot and don't buy anything at the gas station, and you can definitely eat really delicious meals like every single day if you do that.
Mhm. Definitely not eating at gas stations is a big one, I feel.
Yes. I mean, you stop one time, if you got chips, a drink, and like a even like a beef jerky stick, it's gonna be like $12.
Mhm.
And I'd rather just wait to get to the venue and go find a delicious lunch. So that's a big thing for me is like how much am I spending a day and how can I turn that into something more enjoyable rather than roughing it and having, snapping into a Slim Jim every 4 hours.
Yeah. Probably, as you said, makes morale better and then just feel better because you're eating better as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Most of the time I'll just walk off by myself and just have lunch with myself, which I love to do on the road. It's really nice, but I kind of just help the whole tour package try to have fun, keep things light, and morale is big. You got to
Mhm.
have everybody feeling good if you want a show to feel good. So
Yeah. Because if you guys aren't enjoying tour, nobody else in the audience is going to enjoy it either.
that's right. Yeah, you can't project. You can't project if how you're feeling. When you get on stage, you got to give it 100%. And obviously, though, it's really important that the crowd gives you some energy back too, because I mean, it can be hard for musicians to get into it. Even if there's 500 people, if they're all just, I mean, I don't care about you. You want to mosh, go ahead, but
Hmm.
really, I just want a crowd to be alive. I want them to move.
Yeah.
I like I like crowd surfing and pile ups and stuff like that. I just like to see everybody like having fun at the same time and not be worried about getting knocked out in the circle or anything like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I feel like it's not as fun, like myself as well, like being at a concert and everyone's really like not having fun. It's not fun to be there as an audience, like somebody in the crowd as well. Like,
yeah, I feel like shows are for energy. I feel like you get more consistent energy when it's not nighttime and people are all like a festival, for instance. Everybody's all
mhm.
hyped up from the sun or like getting too much sun. They're like, I gotta do something with all this energy. So I've noticed that a lot, especially at Incarceration Fest, one of probably the coolest festival I've ever played. So accommodating, and the food was amazing. That's mainly what you hear from me too when I'm on the road. They're like, "How was tour?" I'm like, "Oh, I had this to eat and that to eat," and that's pretty much where I'm at in my life right now is just being stoked on food. So
What would you say is the best meal you ever had on tour?
let's see. There is a ramen spot in New York. I wish I knew the name of it off the top of my head, but I think it's Ichiran. Let me see. Quantizing. Yes, Ichiran. So they do a traditional like a ramen. They do like a really good ramen, and you get to hand pick everything that goes in it, and you also get to pick how much goes into it. So like,
Hmm.
do you want your noodles firm? Do you want your noodles soft? Do you want lots of chili oil? A little bit, and you just kind of you get to check everything off, and you don't have a waiter or waitress. They open this little window. You don't even see the top half of the person, and you give them your slip, and you get a big bowl of delicious ramen. I think combined with the experience of having like my own little private booth and some of the most authentic delicious ramen, that's definitely got to be up there. It's like one of my favorites.
Hmm. So now, anytime you're anywhere near there, do you stop in?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime we play Brooklyn Asylum or Brooklyn Monarch, I will take the mile walk and I will go there, and most of the time there's like a 45-minute wait. It's a really popular spot,
Hmm.
but it's worth it. It's worth standing outside in the cold and just kind of it's like a part of the experience. Like I'm gonna be sitting down soon and I'm gonna be so happy. So
Yeah, that sounds. I'll definitely check it out when I'm near there next. Because I
yeah.
love ramen.
Well, what state do you live in?
I live up in Massachusetts.
Okay. Let's see, Massachusetts. Where do I go? When I go to the Palladium, I go to this tequileria that's about a half mile away. They're pretty good. I also forgot that you guys eat your lobster cold like psychopaths.
I don't
So,
eat seafood.
uh, I got a lobster taco. I'm like, ooh, this sounds unique, and I bit into it, and it was like fridge cold, and I was
Oh.
like, how do they do this? But that's a good spot.
Okay. Wait, so do you guys eat your lobster warm?
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't know that in Massachusetts they're like, yeah, it's a lobster roll. It's refrigerated, and that is just beyond me. Because usually like down here in Florida, I've gone lobster tickling a few times, and you catch them and we boil them or grill them and we serve them hot with butter.
I feel like it also depends on where you go to, because I know, because my parents love lobster, so like certain places do have like warm lobster rolls, and some places don't. It all
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah, I just don't think I was prepared for cold seafood. That kind
Hmm.
of kind of got to me a little bit. So,
Yeah. Well, now you know. When
yeah.
next time, either you don't order that or you're just prepared for it when it comes.
Yeah, I'm just not going to order it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, but it's just because I wasn't raised on it, you know. I'm sure
Hmm.
everybody from Massachusetts that eats seafood's like cold lobster's the best, and yeah, not for me.
Yeah, I feel like food is so regional. It's really interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Florida's like a really big melting pot. So you kind of get a little bit of everything. I'm in Tampa. The Hispanic food is infinity amounts delicious everywhere. Like almost
Hmm.
every taco spot you go to is like the best. So that's tacos are some of my favorite to get on the road too. I always get 3 tacos, rice and beans. That's like one of my main lunches. And people are like, "How do you do that? How do you stomach it?" I'm like, "It's sounds better than 3 McDoubles, doesn't it?" I mean,
That's true. What do you get in your tacos?
I like chorizo, and I like fish tacos when they're not cold. And then that's it. Those are pretty much my go-tos. That and steak.
Mm. That's a good go-to on the road.
Hmm.
I feel like it's always interesting to see what people's go-to food on the road is, because it's so unique, and I feel like it just tells a lot about the person.
Yeah, yeah. I like eating with my hands. I like picking up my food and eating it. I'm a big street taco guy. Um, birria. You ever heard of birria? It's kind of like a red broth. I like to call it a Hispanic French dip. You basically take
Okay.
like you take a taco and you dip it in this broth that's been cooking all day, and
Ooh,
it's really good.
that sounds really good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I
it's
feel
it's
like it's
it's
mostly
delicious.
just like Irish food up here in Boston. Irish
Yeah,
and Italian.
yeah. And you don't eat seafood, so fish and chips is like way out of the question, even though
Yeah.
fish and chips is delicious to me. So, um, but yeah, what kind of food do you look for like when you eat?
I feel like it really depends on what mood I'm in. Like I'll go for like a good like a good steak taco, or I don't know, pasta. I love a good pasta dish, or
Yeah.
anything with potatoes in it, because I'm not part Irish, so potatoes are
Well,
in everything.
so there's a plus. I mean, you may not be able to have fish, but you can have the chips. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like a good pasta too. I cook my lady and I a lot of pasta at home.
Mm.
I love to make Alfredo from scratch. That's
Ooh.
one of my favorites.
How long does it take to make that from scratch?
It is honestly, it depends on how you cook it, but I kind of do like a cheater recipe, so it only takes like 30 or 40 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not at all. It's way like the more I learn how to cook, the less I order those things when I'm out because I
Hmm.
can finally do my favorite version of them at home.
Right.
Um, so that's like, you know, I just made French onion soup for the first time, and I used a little bit of red wine, and my lady and I devoured it. Like like it's that I love good soups too. I don't usually
Hmm.
get soup on the road though. But it's so funny we're talking about food and food on tour because that's like literally my life on the road is staying alive and eating good food. Like I like a cold sub with hot soup too. That's probably one of my favorites.
Hmm.
Like broccoli cheddar with a turkey ham Swiss. I mean,
Hmm.
come on. So
I find it interesting that some people put two meats in one sandwich. I've never understood that.
really,
It doesn't make sense to me.
that's funny. That's kind of funny. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm like trying to think about what I would eat just as a single meat sandwich. I guess a
Like a turkey and
French dip,
cheese.
French dip, turkey and cheese.
Well, turkey and cheese like with dressings, but like it doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily need ham.
turkey and cheese kind of gives me like Viva, like I'm watching Viva La Bam and drinking Kool-Aid vibes. Like just got out of fifth grade. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's a comfort meal. Turkey and cheese could be a comfort meal.
Hmm.
I'm not a really I'm not a huge turkey fan. I mean, but when we cook it down here, we deep fry it. So
Hmm.
that's the way to do it.
I've only had deep fried. I've only had it like a couple of times.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, you can do a million things to that bird, but they're just hard to cook because they're massive and they get dried out and yeah. I mean, I feel like my go-to sandwich. I mean, down here we have Publix and we get like buffalo chicken tender subs. We get uh French dips a lot for the cold sandwiches. I guess we get like the ultimate, which is 100% three different types of meat, ham, roast beef, and something else. But yeah, yeah. When it comes to food, I mean, I just love to be involved and I love to cook a lot. I like especially getting to visit like certain butcher shops
Hmm.
when I'm on the road. Like there's people starting to recognize me now. They're like, "Hey, did you come? Don't you come in like every 4 months?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And I'm here again for the best. A lot of butcher shops make their own seasonings from scratch, so
Hmm.
I get a lot of my seasonings on the road.
Oh, that's a smart way to do it. Then you get a little bit of everything.
Yep.
So, do you have a favorite meal to cook when you're not on the road?
I've been really falling in love with making like special like roux and sauces from scratch. So
Hmm.
I love to cook for my lady too. She's vegetarian, so I like to find ways around not having to incorporate meat in because of that, because you're not getting the fat from animals and stuff like that, you have to use really fresh ingredients and you have to
Yeah.
infuse a lot of things. So like when I make my lady food, I made her a red wine bordelaise sauce that you can use to like dip your food in and stuff like that. And I love making things from scratch because like I said, being vegetarian, it's honestly really like not difficult. I eat a lot of vegetarian food because she eats it so much.
Hmm.
So the chicken patties are good. Like the plant-based chicken patties, they
Yeah.
they they taste like the high school chicken patties. Like they just remind me of those. I'm fine with those. I just don't like when they try to advertise it as like a fake meat
Hmm.
because I feel like more people would eat vegetarian food if it wasn't portrayed as, oh, this is supposed to taste like a steak. Nothing will ever taste like a steak,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So that I feel like that's like a really big thing too. Is just try it. Like just because it's like when you eat a salad, you're not like, yeah, this is vegetarian.
Hmm.
Like, no, it's just food. Uh, you know, even one time my lady's gotten like mushroom steaks and those are delicious and I love mushrooms. And if somebody that liked mushrooms didn't try it, I'd be like, you're ridiculous. Just just
Hmm.
just give it a go. But not that I don't eat meat, but there are definitely some days now where I won't eat meat for that day. And it's not even that I'm trying to, but I know that people say that if you don't eat meat every day, it does help with the environment, but there's so much give and take with that crap
Yeah.
because I mean, when you're also growing tons and tons of vegetables, there's a lot of pest control. So
Mm-hmm.
animals, unfortunately, are still dying from the
Yeah.
pesticides, from, varmint rifles, from guard dogs or whatever it may be. So there's give and take for everything. What can you do?
Yeah, I know. My sister's vegan, and it's like like you were saying, the marketing is weird. Like the cheese she eats is marketed as cheese, and then like it on the bottom it says that it's vegan. I'm like, it's not cheese if it's
It is
like
not. That is the one thing I do not like, dude.
the
Is
vegan
the
cheese.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. My lady makes a cashew sauce
Hmm.
that, and we call it cashew sauce. We don't call it cheese,
Right, because it's not
but because
cheese.
it's not fucking cheese, but she makes this cashew sauce and she'll make like macaroni and cheese,
Hmm.
and it is delicious. Like she's good at and like the vegan restaurants around here, they use all fresh ingredients. Like they have to do a lot,
Yeah.
and there's some of the most unique and delicious stuff I've ever tasted around here because their dishes don't revolve around meat. You get more unique tasting things.
Hmm.
So,
But I just don't like, as you were saying, when they market it as like cheese, because it's not cheese.
no, no. And I've had some that are appalling tasting. I'm just like,
Hmm.
I'll never do that again. So there's some hit and misses there.
Yeah.
Vegan is a little bit tougher of a cookie to crack. That's making a fully vegan meal. I mean, there are some things that are delicious that are vegan. I've done edible cookie dough that's vegan, and that's
Hmm.
delicious.
It's really good.
Yeah, that stuff's great. But there are some things where I'm like, I probably could have used cheese or butter or meat.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. And it reminds me of like the I don't know if you know like what's that new soda brand that's like the healthy soda. They're like I tried it one day and it's like marketing itself as like it was like a root beer one. And I'm like it doesn't taste anything like root beer. It was
oh,
like
is
a
it like a
tiny
probiotic soda?
Yeah, it's like a tiny bit tastes like root beer. I'm like stop marketing it as root beer, market it as something else.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know. I think I know what you're talking about. I've tried a couple of those. I do like kombucha, even though it's weird as hell, but
It's really good though.
it's good. Yeah, good for the stomach. Make you fart a
Hmm.
little bit, but whatever.
That's the point though.
That is the point.
So you mentioned earlier, some favorite like some fan interactions from tour. Do you have any like favorite fan interactions that have happened recently?
Yes, actually, I've been doing cameos a lot, where I do like it can be a shout out to a friend. I've roasted people's friends. I've done, hey, you graduated college or medical school or high school. Congrats. I've done birthdays, holidays, especially right now. People love ordering a cameo for a Christmas gift, which I think is amazing. This one couple hit me up and said, "Hey, can you just say happy anniversary to or Merry Christmas to my lady? We met at a trader show in 2016 and we've got two kids and we're married."
Oh.
Yeah. And like I feel like that's like I don't have any kids of my own because I'm not gonna leave my child at home while I go on tour. I just don't feel like that's healthy for development. And I also, the chaos that we're descending into, whether they be UFOs or biblical angels, someone's coming. And I don't know if I want to stick my kid into this chaos. So, you know, I I was a latchkey kid growing up.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't get home from school till like 6 o'clock p.m. Uh, so I'd be sitting in the after school program. I'd be like probably the third to last kid to go home. Then you're up for 2.5 hours at home. So like I know what it's like, and my parents were awesome, but when I was in kindergarten and first grade and my parents had to work full time and I wasn't getting home till 6, I know personally what it feels like to just sit there and just dwell and miss your parents.
Yeah.
And I would never want that. I would never wish that upon my child. I'm 32 now. Do I also want to be an older dad? I mean, it would be for selfish reasons. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, damn, dude. But to go back to it, seeing people who have kids now because they met at a trader show, like, because like, if it wasn't for you, I probably would have never met the love of my life.
Hmm.
So when I'm like really struggling, that's the type of shit that I think of.
Yeah.
It's just really special. It's a really special feeling.
Have they been to a show since the one they met at? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure I meet a lot of people in passing and they're like, do you remember me? Favorite question in the world. I'm like, well, I've seen about 20,000 people this month.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but that's one of my favorite interactions. I've also had some least favorite interactions.
Sure.
Um
If you want to share those, go ahead.
2015, some kid climbed up into the he my van door was open and he climbed up in my van and he was shit faced and he was like, do it. I'm like, do what? He's like, do it. Do the vocal that you do. Do the vocal that you're famous for. I'm like, can you back off, man? He's like, not until you do it. Not until I'm like, all right. So there's been that. Um, I've also been surrounded by young kids trying to make a statement for their posse, and they have threatened me with weaponry.
Oh.
Um, that wasn't too fun, but someone said something online. It was like 10 years ago, and my drummer said something. My old drummer Steven said something that he shouldn't have said, and so I mean, we kind of had it coming. But they at the end of the day, all the kids that had threatened me were later in my pit. So you know, it's New York's a different breed, and I really love and appreciate and respect that place, especially after that. It's like, hey, we have no problems, guys, and they could tell I wasn't the one to. I'm not a fighter. I'm very diplomatic, especially in those situations. I'm like, guys, you got the wrong guy. So you know, they came down and moshed, and it was just a really good vibe. So I that was definitely not fun. You know, I thought I was definitely gonna get beat up pretty
Hmm.
hard. So, you know, that was cool. But these are all life lessons, you know. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a couple other not so fun interactions in there, but there's a lot of good ones too, especially you know, the couple that met and they have kids and they're expecting another one in July.
Oh, how
That's
exciting.
yeah, that's so cool. So, there's a
Have any
couple.
of the, are they going to name it after you?
I honestly I try to think. We've got people who have. I have somebody who has a full stomach piece of a tattoo, but I don't think I have any kids named after me yet. That I
Hmm.
know of. But I would be honored. I would be honored. I'd
That
be
would
the
be crazy.
godfather. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, especially because they met at your concert and then like the third kid is named after you.
Yeah, no, I'd be pretty honored.
Then you'd have to like go meet the kid. Like then
And I have,
yeah.
I have met a lot of like, hey, you know, I'm bringing my kid out for the first time. I always have Pokemon cards
Hmm.
for kids at my table. Um, it's funny too, because like I'll sign some, but I'll sign some for people that like want something signed. But most of the time, kids are like, "Why the hell just scribble all over this card?" So I'll just rip packs and I'll just take the bulk of it and just give it out to kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like giving back to people that come to your concerts is always rewarding for them and you.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people that get cameos from me too. It depends on the scenario or what they're telling me, but I'll give them free tickets to a show or ship them out a t-shirt or whatever. So I love to give back. I mean, you know, I who knows where my life's going to take me musically and the type of entertainer that, you know, I'm going to become because I really feel like all of this has kind of just started. Like
Hmm.
being 30 now and being in my second decade, if you will, of music. Um, I don't believe that Traders is my end game. I think that there are many other opportunities out there, be it music or not. I will be an entertainer. I mean, whether it's being a wrestling manager and you know talking smack for a wrestler that isn't so good on the mic, or you know, I've wanted to go to like festivals and do like a TRL like 24/7 thing where I'm walking around and talking to people or we have a booth set up. So I mean, there's definitely there's a lot out there and there's a lot that I haven't really gone for yet
Hmm.
because I'm still working so heavily on traders, you know, because that's my baby. That's the most of the eggs I have in my basket are for traders. So, you know, that's my focus right now. And but I live in the present moment, so I just you know you never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah. Life is always exciting that way.
Yep, 100%.
So going back to when you first kind of started this journey, what advice would you give yourself?
Well, we've been an independent band for mostly, well, pretty much our entire career. I tried to sign to one label. We don't have to bring them up, but they were very negligent and they were very petty. And we all know who I'm talking about. Even if you don't know, you're like, I'm pretty sure I know who he's talking about. But it would probably be to take opportunities, even if you kind of don't want to do them, but also remember that favors don't exist in this industry. If your band is blowing up, then you will get shows. Uh,
Yeah.
but you don't have to go out and break your back just so it's a good look. I think all that shit's out the door. I think all that's a waste of time. There's, unless you're working in music business and not as an actual musician, you're just benefiting the person in music business that's booked you. There's
Hmm.
no reason to go out and do favors. It's a waste of time. Do what you love.
Yeah. Do you think you would have actually listened to that advice from anybody if it had been given to you at that age?
I'm pretty sure I would have still. I definitely am learning. I've learned through all the personal life experience, so probably not. I was very hard-headed and very egocentric. A little bit less when I joined Traders, but it was still very present in me. But over time, especially with the lineup that I have now, like we're here to play ball. We're very malleable. We've always been super chill on tour. I've really only had a problem with like one band on tour in my entire life, and it wasn't our fault. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just like we're super fun. Um, I'm an opportunist. I feel like people mistake that for, oh, this guy wants to take advantage of you because he's, in a bigger, you're in a bigger band than Tyler is, and he's just trying to take. It's like, no, when I see an opportunity and I get along with somebody, I'm gonna come up with an idea for us to keep benefiting. I mean, I'm an everybody eats guy. So
Hmm.
if Traders blows up, the world is just gonna get more cool shit, like more contests, more free merch, more giving back, like because it can be afforded and it can be done. And there's so many bands that have toured with us, that have gotten major opportunities afterwards, and that's great. It's good to be competitive, but it's also good to not be an asshole and be overly competitive and think
Hmm.
that everything has to be about you. So
No, I think it's very important. Giving back to just everyone is very important in life because then you get it, like then it comes back to you.
yeah, for sure.
But that also, that made it sound very selfish. It's like when, which is
No,
not
I
like,
feel you. A little bit of
yeah,
selfishness is healthy. A little bit of
yes.
selfishness is healthy because at the end of the day, like it does. It's one big circle. When it comes back to you, if you have good intentions, it's just going to go back out again.
Hmm.
It just keeps growing. And that's okay. It's okay to have that bit of selfishness because I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm doing this for the people. I want them to hear it, but I would also like, I would also like a new bed so my back stops hurting.
Yeah, very important
So,
things.
yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that your favorite part of being on tour was all the food. What is your least favorite part?
My least favorite part is when people in my rig aren't have like gotten to the point of exhaustion and they just like stop taking care of themselves a little bit and they
Hmm.
they they bring their little stinky fucking toes into my van. I'm a smells guy, don't like bad smells. It's a pet peeve. I don't like when you bring something up to somebody, no matter who it is, and they're just like, oh well, I guess I'm just a bad person. Then it's like that's kind of like cop out. Why don't you just stop smelling? Let's work on it.
Hmm.
Definitely don't like that. I don't really get homesick anymore because I know I'll be back.
Hmm.
Um, but my least favorite is just when the energy's not there to show. And you can feel it from the first or second band. You can just feel like, oh, we got starers. We're gonna stare. It feels very dystopian out there
Hmm.
today, and that sucks. That really it impacts the whole tour package. Everybody kind of just like leaves quiet. They're just like, yeah, maybe tomorrow. That's a
Yeah.
shitty feeling. So probably that.
So then on the reverse side of a not so great show, do you have any favorite or super memorable shows that you've played?
Incarceration was probably the best show, the best festival I've ever played. Their catering was fucking wild. I was eating like buffalo chicken empanadas for lunch and like citrus crusted salmon, and
Oh, wow.
everything was so delicious. There was golf cart service anywhere you had to go, free drinks, free food. Just it makes you feel like you're a musician. Like
Hmm.
in back in the old days when they're like rock star lifestyle, check out how cool my life is. That's you kind of see behind the scenes a little bit more, and it's not all pretty. But playing at a prison was pretty damn cool. It was pretty cool. It was one of my favorites. Detroit always shows up for us. Lately, Pennsylvania and anywhere, especially Reading. Uh, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy out in Reading right now. And Hangar down in Carolina is really blowing up. Like some of these towns that are not like really big cities are just getting major pulls right now. And I love that. I love that because people who typically wouldn't get shows, when they start getting shows and you're in that market, you're like, damn, this is really cool. Like I got
Hmm.
to keep going out to these awesome shows. So there's a couple places to boot. I live on the East Coast, so I may be biased, but I do believe that the East Coast has not only shorter drives, but they have a lot of more supportive areas. And, sometimes when you're out west, you'll drive 10, 12 hours and it'll be just like the day before. You're like, damn, like I'm trying to pull people to these shows, and I really feel like the East Coast is the best representation of metal in uh in the US.
And you live on the East Coast, so it's helpful.
Yep, yep. Being down in Florida for a long time, Traders did not draw super well to Florida, even though
Hmm.
it's our hometown or our home state. But that has finally changed in the past couple years, and it definitely feels like a hometown now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Glad you're able to finally have a crowd in your hometown shows.
yeah. Thank God. You'd think I can, it's one of the first things you get, but sometimes for our case, it wasn't. So
Yeah, but that comes with time.
yeah. I mean, I'm also in Tampa. It used to be super hardcore down here. It was very hardcore, like traditional hardcore music. So, it was tough for us because we are the opposite. And most of the time, traditional hardcore people listen to our stuff and are like, "This is garbage." I understand. I get it.
The
So
music's so subjective.
it is.
If you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Yeah, so when you were kind of going through times when people weren't, always showing up, what kind of things did you do to stay motivated?
I try kind of just go back to the drawing board and keep writing. Just
Hmm.
keep writing. Got to believe in myself. Uh, but you don't want to repackage constantly either. I didn't want to repackage and be like, oh, we got to sound like this, we got to sound like that. That was an issue. If you're gonna try to sound like somebody, you're gonna chase that dragon forever. And I like to be a pioneer. I like to
Hmm.
pioneer sounds and vocal ranges and different types of music. So that's where my mindset is pioneer and have fun to doing what you do. So
I love it. What advice would you give to somebody who is kind of struggling with that motivation right now?
it's really all in the brain. It starts there. If you don't believe in yourself, it'll never come to fruition. You have to manifest. And, Michelle, my lady, she's really helped me believe in myself more. And she does not take anything else for an answer. Like if I'm kind of going off on something, she's like, kind of sounds like you don't believe. You got to believe in yourself more and you got
Hmm.
to manifest the good vibes. Otherwise, if you're chasing and everything's one big competition, you're never going to win. And she's right.
Yeah, that is really good advice. It's a
Yeah.
lot easier said than done, though.
Oh yeah. Um, it's so funny growing up and finally getting over all of the traumas and all of the negative things in my life. And it's funny how I use the words get over it or I got over it because we usually when you're younger and someone says, "Come on, you got to get over this." It's like, you don't, well, that's not good advice. I wish I could if I didn't sum it up to I got over it, it would take me probably about a week to explain all the trials and tribulations I had in my life.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, uh, I never stopped thinking about the negative thoughts. I just stopped filtering them and giving them attention and letting them snowball. I confronted what may be the root cause of those negative things, and I accepted those things in my life, no
Mhm.
matter what it had to deal with, family stuff or life stuff, or some of the darker thoughts that I've had in my life. Like, I've thought some of the worst things in my life, but it doesn't represent who I am.
Right.
It was just something I had to confront, and still to this day I'll still have some very outlandish thoughts sometimes when I wake up, or whatever it may be. I used to let those things affect my day. If I don't let that little mental toe stub bother me for the rest of the day, it won't snowball. And
Mhm.
I've finally controlled those problems.
Well, I'm glad that you've been able to do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So before I ask the last question today, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about?
No, and I've said this for a few of my interviews this week, is if you've listened this far, chances are you are a big Traders fan, and I really appreciate your time. You guys are really special to me, and there have definitely been moments, especially after 11 years, without that really big viral payoff that these bands are getting. There have been times where I've wanted to give up, and I hope this is a message that I'm still here for you guys. And chances are, no matter how old I am, even if I'm not touring with Traders, I might just write Traders music until I can't do vocals anymore. And I just don't give up. It's easier said than done. Don't give up is kind of like get over it.
Hmm.
Uh, but at the end of the day, the older you get and the more that you face your and confront the issues in your life, the more that you'll be able to persevere. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is survival of the fittest, and you have to be strong. You have to be resilient. Um, I know I've been in the victim mentality before. Nobody feels bad for you when they go to bed. They're not thinking about you when they go to bed. They're thinking about how they can survive.
Hmm.
And you just got to go out and fucking get it, man. And it's tough to get out of bed some days and do that. Not every single day has to be committed to your future. Don't forget to stop and take a breath and relax, but try to be grateful for what you got. Try to be present. Take in the smells and the feelings and anything that's around you, and just try to create something out of it.
Yeah. So the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Wow. Well, right now, what is the soundtrack of my life? It makes me think of that Kid Cudi song, Soundtrack to My Life.
Hmm.
I really like that one. That was when I was younger. It's not a favorite band question. I could be stuck on this for years. What is the soundtrack to my life? For now, I'm gonna go with 93 Till Infinity. That's the soundtrack to my life right now. It's an old hip hop song that I've probably heard my whole life. That with a mixture of in the darker era would be the Gravediggers, which is the RZA from Wu-Tang's original project before the Wu-Tang Clan.
Hmm.
Those things kind of, that if I'm not feeling good, if I'm, you know, it's just music will always be there for you. I was raised on hip hop because I have two older sisters that introduced me to really inappropriate music when I was 5, like Two Life Crew and Splack Pack. And if you don't know who they are, you should check them out because it was really inappropriate. But that kind of, it freed me. It's like I can say and do whatever I want if I make music. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, just a couple of things. But I'm gonna be thinking about what the real soundtrack to my life is. But those are the first things that come to mind.
Yeah. I feel like it's usually the first things that come to your mind are the actual answer. But also, it's like, I find that it's always changing.
Hmm. It
Like
is.
tomorrow, somebody could ask you and it's going to be totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a guy who makes like Caribbean Baja music, and it just sounds so goofy, but so fun and funny at the same time. And I wish I had his name. I think it's like Father something. But I like things that make me feel careless. That's really like carefree.
Hmm.
Um, Father Phyllis. Yeah, you gotta check. It's just I like to close my eyes and have fun with music. So I don't really listen to metal. I don't want to get inspired by a metal band
Hmm.
um in my music. So I have worn Gojira down to the nubs. That was the one band that I listened to in metal for a very extended period of time. And it started to show up in my music. So I'm like, this is why I can't listen to metal. So, but a lot of it's hip hop and rap and random music. So,
I like it. That's a very diverse soundtrack.
yeah.
Yeah, so for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you guys, hear the new album when it comes out, and maybe even see you on tour, where can they find you?
Everything we have a website that has everything we're doing all the time. So that'd be traitorsband.com. Real easy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Have a nice rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Listeners, go check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at ST Lives Podcast. Thanks for listening.